Milos, you're in the second week of Wimbledon. You other than John Isner, you've not played that many big servers. I mean, like Anderson, those guys you played like in 2013. How do you get ready, knowing what's coming, but still against an opponent who might be wearing the same clothes as you, but that you don't know?
Yeah, it's tough. Obviously, through New Balance, I have a relationship with Reilly, so I've paid attention to the trajectory of his career and the way things have gone for him, especially with this year, him winning in New York over Braden and playing well in Miami as well, winning a big match against Stan. There was sort of an eye out to see what he was always up to. It's tough. I guess you sort of try to project a mirror on yourself, think about the things you wouldn't like to see on the other side of the net, and then try to mimic that as much as possible without detracting from your own game style too much. So I just tried to, make as many returns as possible, make him have to hit as many balls as possible, all those little things that maybe I'm not the biggest fan of seeing from coming back from the other side of the net, and tried to apply them to him, and thankfully I was quite efficient today, and I'm happy with the level I played.
How is your body feeling at the moment? I mean, it took you a fair amount of time to come into press. That typically means treatment in various body parts. Is that what's been going on?
Yeah, well, no, I actually went out and hit a few balls today. Took my time. I've been on tour a while. I try not to rush through things, especially being the first match. There's plenty of time in the day. But I'm happy that the more I'm playing, the better the body's feeling. I didn't start off so great at the beginning of the week. The second match, I had a little bit of a concern after. Once I got the green light on that, to know that I came out today feeling very good about my body and the way I was doing things, it's a big sigh of relief, and hopefully I can keep it up that way.
Another young guy whose progress you've been following is Félix Auger-Aliassime, who's going to be playing later today. And if he does win, both of you would be in the second week of Wimbledon, which is a significant feat for tennis. You could argue that this might be a golden age in the sense that you're still in your prime. Pospisil may yet come back and be a solid player, and then you have like almost two generations in one at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's incredible. I think personally, speaking on Félix, what he's done in these last 4 months, pretty much from Rio, to really climb up as quickly as he has and play as consistently as he has on all three surfaces, has been fun to watch, has been fun to sort of follow as well. And I thought this would be the toughest surface for him, but it seems like it's been the one that's been the most beneficial for him. I think it's going to be something that's going to be very positive. The thing about Félix is he has this great demeanor and professional attributes to the way he goes about his craft, and I think that helps him a long ways, and I think that takes up so much of his energy. He doesn't get caught up in the other things, so I think that's all very positive from him. And as a generation as a whole, between me and Vasek, and almost 10 years between us and other guys, so there's almost two generations there, with maybe a little bit of a generation between. It's impressive, it's unprecedented, obviously. Everything that's been happening for the last decade in Canadian tennis is unprecedented, so to be a part of that is pretty amazing. I'm proud to be a part of it. I know those guys are as well, and I'm proud to do it along those guys who are great professionals and guys that I think are just starting to push sort of their limits and take things further.
Félix said some very, very complimentary things about you when I spoke to him in Queens, and he said, if I need any advice about anything about the tour, about the logistics, all sorts of stuff, I talked to Milos, and he's been incredibly helpful to me in that area, and I was wondering what you would tell him about playing on one of these big courts against Djokovic, or even today in a match that he's favored.
Yeah, I think for Félix, I think what he has to understand is where he's at. I think maybe right now with these results, 20 or top 20 in the world, I think he has to let that sink in. I think he doesn't have to try to play outside of himself, especially if he comes along one of the top guys in the world, and he has to believe in himself in those moments. And in terms of the situation or what court you may be on, at the end of the day, the courts are almost all the same. Maybe the atmosphere is different, maybe the significance is different, but the lines are the same, the net is the same, and I think you have to try to treat it that way as much as possible. And the first thing that's important is to get energy out of yourself. So some people do that in frustration, some people do that with a few come-ons early on, but I think that's one of the most important things, to get that nervous energy out if there is any, so you can allow yourself to free up and play your best tennis.
Great, thank you. Let's hope for a great Canadian second week.
Hopefully we'll have 2 Canadians in the second week of Wimbledon.
Thanks, Milos.